opening remarks for this virtual presser?
Yeah. So first, thank you all for joining. Good morning. I am Attorney Paolo Panelo. I am counsel for Vice President Sara Duterte in connection with the perjury complaint that she filed against Ramil Madriaga. In the call with me is Attorney Inigo Soriano, my partner in the Panelo Law Office. So
Morning,
thank you
everyone.
for joining us. We all know. So just to clarify, we're not part of the impeachment defense team of VP Sara. We're just her counsel for the perjury. However, since Ramil Madriaga has been subpoenaed to appear and testify on April 14 before the House Justice Committee, and it appears that they will proceed because there is no TRO issued by the Supreme Court in connection with the petitions for certiorari and prohibition filed with the Supreme Court. We want to take this opportunity to just give you to give the public a preview the testimony of Ramil Madriaga and the evidence that we have against him. And then while I present these to you, please take note that these pieces of evidence, these testimonies that I'm going to preview to you have already been filed with the Office of the City Prosecutor of Taguig in connection with the perjury complaint. So, and these are all official documents, sworn testimonies. So these are not speculations or unverified information. Okay? Should I proceed, JC?
Sir, yes, sir. You can proceed,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, so in the subpoena, specifically, the House Justice Committee wants Ramil Madriaga to testify on the allegation that he formed the Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group and that he handled confidential funds with Colonel Raymond Lachica and Lieutenant Colonel Dennis Nolasco, and then that he delivered these supposed confidential funds to various persons upon the instructions of VP Sara. So this is a summary. This is what you're seeing on screen is an exact quotations from the affidavit of Ramil Madriaga, particularly paragraphs 13 and 14. We start with his claim that he formed the VP-SPG. So sabi niya, he was tasked to form the VP-SPG. This is the group that is tasked to provide security and intelligence for the Vice President. It's like the PSG counterpart of the Office of the Vice President. So sabi niya, he formed this VP-SPG. And in connection with that, he said that he introduced Colonel Dennis Nolasco to VP Sara, who allegedly was one of his students in the Presidential Security Group, and that it was Colonel Nolasco who tapped the services of Colonel Raymond Dante Lachica to head the VP-SPG. So what was VP Sara's response in the perjury complaint? So she denied that Madriaga had anything to do with the formation of the VP-SPG, and she said that the formation of the VP-SPG was a formal military initiative approved by then DND Secretary Delfin Lorenzana. And this process, of course, was entirely internal to the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the AFP, and the Department of National Defense, uninfluenced by outsiders lacking any official standing or authority in the military hierarchy, such as Madriaga. Bakit? Kasi si Madriaga, hindi naman siya military personnel, hindi siya taga-AFP, hindi siya taga-DND. So the point was, Itong formation ng VP-SPG, this was a process internal to the AFP and DND, and Madriaga was never part of that. So imposible yung sinasabi niya. As proof of that, we presented in the complaint affidavit a DND memorandum from then Secretary Delphine Lorenzana on the approval and activation of the VP-SPG. And then also, the VP Sara's complaint affidavit is supported by the affidavits of Major General Jose Niembra, Brigadier General Randolph Cabangbang, Colonel Raymond Lachica, and Lieutenant Colonel Dennis Nolasco, who all attest that Madriaga was never part of the PSG or the VPSG in any capacity, which disproves his claimed roles in those groups, or any suggestion that Madriaga was in a position to be involved or have influence in the formation of the VP-SPG. So we will give you copies of these materials later, but you will see even the complaint affidavit. If you want a copy of that, we can provide JC a copy of that for dissemination. But what you will see in the complaint affidavit and in these materials is these gentlemen that support the affidavit of VP Sara, the complaint affidavit of VP Sara. They were all connected with the PSG and the VPSG in the material dates that Madriaga claims he was part of those groups. So for example, Major General Jose Niembra and Brigadier General Randolph Cabangbang, they were part of the PSG from 2016 to 2022. So yun yung period that Madriaga claims that he was with the PSG. So they both say, we don't know that guy, and he's not, because of his criminal record, he's not qualified to work for us. Okay? And then you also have the testimonies of Colonel Raymond Lachica and Lieutenant Colonel Dennis Nolasco. Apart from that, we secured certifications from the Presidential Security Command. As you know, yung Presidential Security Group or PSG has since been reorganized or renamed to the Presidential Security Command. Meron tayong certification from them that says that no personnel in the name of Mr. Ramil Lagunoy Madriaga and or Mr. Ramil Lagonoy Madriaga that has been assigned employed detail or otherwise connected with the PSG or the PSC. Same thing for the AFP Security and Protection Group. This was formerly the VPSPG, but reorganized as the APSPG. They also issued a similar certification that no Ramil Madriaga has ever been a member or employed with the VPSPG. With respect to the allegation na si Madriaga daw ang nag-introduce and recommended Dennis Nolasco to VP Sara, this is impossible. VP Sara says this is impossible because hindi niya nga kilala si Madriaga. And it was actually Lieutenant Colonel Rene Giroy, former commanding officer of the PSG 2nd Presidential Escort, who was assigned to provide security for VP Sara when PRRD was still president, that introduced Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco to her. And it was also Lieutenant Colonel Giroy, who was then acting head of the VP-SPG, that facilitated Lieutenant Colonel selection as VP-SPG Deputy Commander. So Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco confirms this, and he also adds that Madriaga lacks any standing in the AFP or the PSG hierarchy to influence a personal decision like that. Kasi si Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco was designated as the VP-SPG Deputy Commander, which is the second highest position in the VPSG, only below the VP-SPG Commander. So Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco was explaining Madriaga has no personality in the AFP or the PSG to influence a personnel decision like that. And wala naman siyang relationship with VP Sara to be even in a position to introduce Nolasco to VP Sara. Next. So regarding the claim that Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco was the one that tapped the services of Colonel La Chica. So ito yung ang sinasabi ni Madriaga na kilala niya ay si Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco at renekomenda niya daw si Nolasco kay VP Sara para makapasok sa VP-SPG, tapos si Nolasco daw yung pumili kay Colonel La Chica to head the VP-SG. So this is also not true. VP Sara testified in her complaint affidavit that Colonel La Chica was shortlisted by the AFP Senior Officers Placement Board based on his qualifications and selected based on merit. Si Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco naman explains that that notion is absurd. Siya yung pumili kay Colonel La Chica or nag-facilitate ng appointment ni Colonel La Chica to the VP-SPG because si Colonel La Chica is more senior to Dennis Nolasco in rank and in age by 10 years. So if you can imagine, the AFP is strictly hierarchical, and seniority, of course, is very important to the AFP. So it's absurd na somebody 10 years the junior of Colonel La Chica ang magfa-facilitate ng appointment niya to head the VP-SPG. At pangalawa, Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco also says that before Colonel La Chica was designated as VP's SPG commander in September 2022, hindi naman sila magkakilala. They had no opportunity to work together. So si Colonel La Chica in his own affidavit confirms all that. Okay, so dito yung mas we had to go through that kasi yung claim of Madriaga that he formed the VP-SPG, he wants that or he needs that to be true para itong mas importanteng allegation niya against VP Sara, which is nagtransport daw siya ng milyong-milyong pera upon instructions of VP Sara. Kailangan niya maging totoo yung claim niya na binuo niya yung VP-SPG for this allegation to be credible, to establish na kilala niya talaga si Colonel Nolasco and si Colonel La Chica. So he said in his affidavit, from July 2022 to April 2023, I worked with Colonel Nolasco and Colonel La Chica. Our work involved tactical transport services, securing VP Sara and other VIPs, conveying highly confidential information, and transporting large amounts of money to several persons as instructed by VP Sara. So what was VP Sara's response? This is impossible. Madriaga could not have worked with Nolasco or La Chica under my instructions or in any capacity because all of these tasks are handled exclusively by official government personnel assigned through government protocols. And Madriaga was never part of the Office of the Vice President, the Vice Presidential Protection and Security and Protection Group, and the Department of Education. So there was no opportunity for them to work together. So as proof of that, we secured, apart from certification from the VP-SPG, nakakuha din kami ng certification from the OVP and the Department of Education that says that there was no Madriaga employed or connected with those offices. To go even a step further, because Madriaga claims na as early as 2018 when VP Sara was still mayor of Davao City, nagtatrabaho na siya sa kanya. We also got a certification from the Davao City local government. So that's all in the complaint affidavit that we can provide to you if you want to see that copy.
Okay, sir. Let's entertain questions from our media partner, sir. First question.
Patapos na tong briefer, sorry.
Okay.
para ma-cover natin lahat. Okay, so when we started publicizing VP Sara's defense to all of these, si Attorney Raymond Palad in one of his interviews said na wala siyang record sa gobyerno, si Madriaga, because hindi daw siya government employee, kundi personal aid or alalay daw siya ng pamilya Duterte. So our response to that is, one, afterthought yan, kasi in the affidavit, he clearly says that he worked for those government offices. Second, and sabi niya, and this is in connection with parang what the evidence that we released a few weeks ago proving na hindi magkakilala si VP Sara and si Madriaga. Second, kung personal aid si Madriaga, bakit siya hindi na-invite doon sa inauguration ni VP Sara? Because that's what we've already proven. So third, walang tao na nasa circle ni VP Sara na kilala siya as nagtatrabaho for VP Sara. Tapos pang-apat, kung napaka-sensitive naman ng trabaho niya, secret employee siya, it doesn't make sense kasi post siya ng pictures kasama nung alleged boss niya, diba? So it doesn't make sense yung mga sinasabi ni Madriaga at itong si Attorney Palad. And then meron siyang in one of his alleged deliveries, sinabi niya nag-deliver siya ng white Vios with 80 million pesos inside tapos after delivering that to the SM Mega Mall parking lot, he saw daw the white Vios being driven by the wife of Ombudsman Prosecutor Ryan Ray Kilala, named Rhea, who was a classmate of VP Sara. So this is also impossible. We have the testimony of Attorney Ryan Kilala na one, hindi sila nakatanggap ng kahit anong kotse na may laman na pera na ganon. And then, it's also impossible for Madriaga to see his wife driving because the wife doesn't know how to drive. She doesn't even have a license or has never had the license, and we've secured an LTO certification to this effect na never nagkaroon ng lisensya itong si Madriaga. Tapos, ito naman, second to the last na to guys, meron siyang alleged delivery to a comedy bar owned and frequented by SSC Law alumni, that's San Sebastian Law alumni, located in the Timog area. Apparently, she saw the OVP spokesperson Reynold Monsayak, a former classmate of VP Sara, and he signaled for me to go upstairs and leave the money at the office. So according to Attorney Reynold Monsayak, the former OVP spokesperson, he was also acting PCGG chairman under the time of PRRD. That's absurd and entirely invented. He doesn't know Madriaga personally, and it just defies logic and common experience. In fact, si Attorney Reynold Monsayak was part of the OVP at the time that Colonel Lachica, at the time that Madriaga alleges that Colonel Lachica instructed him to bring money to Attorney Reynold Monsayak to this comedy bar. So it doesn't make sense kasi magka-opisina si Reynold Monsayak at si Colonel Lachica. If, diba, kung pag-iisipan lang natin, kung gustong magbigay ng pera from Lachica to Monsayak, they could have done that in the office or they could have met privately. It doesn't make sense to involve somebody with a criminal record like Madriaga to deliver it in a public place like a comedy bar. And then last slide, ano bang motive ni Madriaga? We have evidence, a text message or Facebook Messenger message from Madriaga to Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco on December 12, confirming that the allegations are pure. Clearly, sinasabi niya dito sa text message na makakalabas siya ng kulungan kasi mag-state witness daw siya. So, yun, for us, this is clear evidence na gawa-gawa lang yung testimony against VP Sara, and there's a clear motive on Madriaga's part to do this, which is to get out of prison. So ayun, that's what we prepared, and we can answer questions.
Okay, first question, Jason, SMNI.
Hello, Attorney Paulo. Sir, naririnig po ako?
Yes.
Attorney Pao, based on the evidence you have against Ramil Madriaga, ano po yung mensahe natin na nais iparating sa House Committee on Justice, especially ngayong na-invite na si Madriaga sa April 14 hearing? Sa inyong pananaw, sir, should they carefully consider before allowing Madriaga to speak and magpresenta ng mga umano'y evidence niya against the Vice President?
Yeah, we're not concerned na magte-testify si Madriaga sa House Justice Committee. Of course, I just have to make it clear, diba, that the impeachment defense team is challenging the jurisdiction of the House Justice Committee. They've gone to the Supreme Court to ask for a TRO and to ask the Supreme Court to void these proceedings. They also believe that the House Justice Committee has no power of subpoena. So and we agree with that. Kaya lang, the situation is, nag-issue sila ng subpoena kahit hindi dapat pwede. Walang TRO, so sinabi na nila na itutuloy na nila sa Tuesday. So that's the situation para sa amin as counsel for VP Sara in the specific perjury complaint versus Madriaga. We don't mind because we know that whatever he says are lies. And then in the proper forum, which is looking like the Senate, we can definitively prove that he's a fraud. So we don't have concerns that he's testifying. The only concern really is that baka may maniwala because I'm sure it's going to be amplified. Puro kalaban ni VP Sara yung nasa House Justice Committee. But kaya nga namin kayo inimbitahan ngayon para unahan na yung mangyayari sa Tuesday, which is to show you our side. Kasi actually, itong complaint affidavit ni VP Sara and the evidence that I just presented to you, that's all available to the House Justice Committee. And yet, when they talk about Ramil Madriaga, they talk about him like he's the smoking gun, he's the missing link to all of this. When really we think he's the weakest link. So we're not gonna, as counsel for the perjury case, we're not gonna stop them from self-destructing their case by inviting Madriaga to testify.
Sir, last question from my end, sir, since open yun na po yung pagdulog na ni VP Sara doon sa Supreme Court, marami pong mga tumutulig sa Vice Presidente dito nga sa pagdulog niya sa Supreme Court at sinasabi na ito'y pagtakas po daw sa accountability and sinasabi po nila na tinatakbuhan ni Vice President Sara Duterte yung pagdinig ng House Committee on Justice. Your comment on this, sir?
I don't agree with that kasi handa naman si VP Sara eh. Pero handa siya sa patas na laban. So sa akin, in my opinion, and again, I'm not part of the impeachment defense team, I think sila yung takot, sila yung duwag kasi ayaw nilang lumaban ng patas kasi alam nila that in a fair fight, they can't defeat VP Sara either in the impeachment or in an election in 2028. Kaya they're having to resort to these abuses of power to gain an advantage against the Vice President.
Thank you, Attorney Pao.
Thank you, Jason. Next question, Manny Vargas, Super Radio, DZBB. Okay, Manny?
Hi, good morning po. Attorney Panelo, sir. Good morning. Manny Vargas po.
Morning.
Sir, una sir, pasensya na hindi ko po nasundan yung status po nung complaint na naisampanan niyo sa prosecutor's office. Ano na po yung status niya, sir? Gumalaw na po ba yung prosecutor's office? Naisampanan na po ba ito sa kaso? And secondly, gaano po ka-importante yung magiging action po ng prosecutor's office sa inyo pong isinampang reklamo para mabigyan diin ito pong mga punto na ito against Madriaga? Thank you po.
So the current status is the complaint is still before the office of the city prosecutor of Taguig. It's ongoing. The preliminary investigation is ongoing. Siguro mga almost 3 weeks ago was the first setting for preliminary investigation. Humingi sila ng pagkakataon na so in that setting dapat magsasubmit sila ng counter affidavit but they weren't ready. So they asked permission for an extension and they were given until April 14. Coincidentally, April 14 din sa Tuesday din sila binigyan ng deadline to file a counter affidavit. But considering that he's been subpoenaed and he's going to appear on Tuesday sa House Justice Committee, mukhang hihingi na naman sila ng panibagong extension dito sa Office of the City Prosecutor of Taguig. Now, how important is the perjury complaint and the prosecutor, the Office of the City Prosecutor's action on it? Sa amin mahalaga because if they dismiss it, baka ang dating sa publiko is totoo pala yung sinasabi ni Ramil Madriaga. Pero kapag final nila yung complaint sa korte, sa RTC Taguig, nangangahulugan na merong basehan yung mga sinasabi namin na perjurious itong testimony ni Ramil Madriaga. Kaya, dahil napaka-importante niya, at nasabi ko na to noon, our complaint affidavit is 340 pages. VP Sara's own complaint affidavit is supported by 7 testimonies of other witnesses, and yun nga, maraming evidence, documentary evidence, kasi we wanted an airtight complaint para kahit na mapolitika itong complaint na ito, kasi of course the city prosecutor is under the DOJ, may hirapan silang utusan na i-dismiss. Or kaya pag utusan nilang i-dismiss naman, halatang minaniobra. Because as far as we're concerned, we presented an airtight complaint.
Attorney, sorry po, pahabol lang. Since you mentioned po na magpa-file sila ng counter affidavit nila sa April 14 kasabay nung pagharap niya sa House. Kung sakali po ba, sir, na may mga bago siyang sasabihin doon sa House na contrary po doon sa information na hawak ninyo, na pwede pang magpalakas ng inyong pong reklamo sa prosecutor's office, yun po ba'y pwede pang magbago or magsasubmit po kayo ng additional information against Madriaga doon po sa perjury complaint? Pwede po bang magamit yun?
Pwede, kasi actually one of our observations in the affidavit of Ramil Madriaga is marami siyang mga allegations doon na walang petsa, walang eksaktong petsa, walang mga pangalan ng mga taong pinag-deliveran niya, di umano, mga date, mga oras, ganyan. Walang specific details kaya hindi ma-verify or sadyang hindi ma-verify kasi masyadong broad. So kung mag-provide siya ng additional details sa House Justice Committee, talagang gagamitin namin yun against him. Kasi kumpiyansa kami na kahit anong sabihin niya, kasinungalingan. So lalong madidiin siya pagka nag-testify siya sa House Justice Committee pag nagbigay siya ng additional details.
Sir, pasensya. One last po. Since nade-delay na nga po yung pag-prosecute po, no? Kasi kinakailangan pa, sir, na yun nga, counter affidavit pa niya and then haharap pa sa camera. It is a welcome development po para sa inyo kung sakali man na Madriaga would be providing you additional information to file further or new information po sa prosecutor's office para mapalakas yung inyo pong perjury complaint against him. So ito pong tagal ng proseso sa prosecutor's office sa Taguig is not actually a situation na detrimental sa inyo pong issue, but rather on the other hand, pwede siyang makatulong para mas mapalakas pa yung reklamo nyo.
That's possible. Depending on what he says on Tuesday, it's possible na lumakas pa lalo yung kaso ni VP Sara sa kanya. Kasi yun nga, if he provides details, specific details that we can destroy, then better for us. Pero yung delays naman sa prosecutor's office, hindi siya masyadong mahalaga sa amin because the perjury complaint was never meant to stop him from testifying in the impeachment. Diba? Hindi naman makakapagpigil yung perjury complaint sa isang testigo na mag-testify sa impeachment. So it wasn't the objective. The objective was to make him accountable. At ipakita sa publiko na nagsisinungaling to, ipakita din, ibulgar sa publiko na yung mga politikong sumasakay dito kay Madriaga ay hindi pananagutan ng habol kundi politika dahil walang credibility si Madriaga, wala din siyang ebidensya dun sa mga sinasabi.
Salamat po, attorney. Thank you.
Next question, Mav Gonzalez, Gemmy 7. Mav?
Hi, sir. Good morning po, Mav Gonzalez. Sir, you mentioned kanina that you think the proper forum would be the Senate. Are you talking about the impeachment trial, if ever, or you're calling on the Senate na magkaroon po ng parallel investigation like the House Justice Committee?
I'm talking about the Senate in the context na matagal nang sinasabi ng House Justice Committee members that they have enough numbers to transmit it in the Senate. So mukhang doon talaga papunta yung kwento unless the Supreme Court steps in. So the proper forum to address all of these allegations, it looks like would be the Senate as the impeachment court.
Sir, last na lang po. Kanina sinabi niyo rin po na hiwalay naman talaga itong perjury complaint dun sa impeachment na nangyayari sa House ngayon. But do you think that should you prosper in this perjury complaint, tatamaan talaga yung impeachment proceedings sa House?
Yes, if it happens quick enough, pero we have no illusion that the perjury complaint will be resolved before the impeachment trial starts. So wala talagang ganong objective eh. We were conscious of the fact that when we file a perjury complaint, most likely the resolution of that will be after the impeachment trial. So hindi naman yun yung objective, yung maging guilty siya right before or during the impeachment trial. That would be, of course, ideal, but we that was never the objective. The objective was just to communicate to the people that this guy is lying and that the politicians, the congressmen, relying on his testimony to push this narrative against VP Sara are doing this for political gain, not for accountability.
Hi, sir. Hi, good morning, attorney. Sir, of course, yung ibang mga lawmakers, nagsabi na rin po sila on why they are anticipating Ramil Madriaga's testimony. Former Senator Antonio Trillanes then vouched for his credibility dahil nakausap niya raw po in the past si Madriaga. But sa pananaw po ninyo, sir, again, nasabi niyo kanina, he's the weakest link and it will be a self-destructing move sa House of Representatives. How confident are you na siya yung pinakamahina and it will be a fatal flaw for the House of Representatives to give him the stand?
Yeah, we are super confident. In fact, the analogy that I like to use is he's like a Trojan horse entering the city of Troy, except that VP Sara has nothing to do with him. So if they want to bring the Trojan horse into the city of Troy, we won't stand in their way. Wala talagang patutunguhan to kapag si Madriaga naging sentro ng kaso nila laban kay VP Sara.
And do you question the timing and the motive why suddenly biglang nabigyan ng pansin si Madriaga, especially ahead of the filing of new impeachment complaints kay Vice President Duterte?
Yes. Also, timing is questionable. One, because the confidential fund issue has been there since, was it 2023 or 2024? Pero lumabas lang siya late 2025 na as the deadline or as the 1-year bar for the filing of impeachments was about to lapse. So that yung timing, of course. Tapos, ano pa ba? In terms of timing, pero ganun talaga eh, di ba? Yung impeachment 1-year bar was supposed to lapse in Feb. So talagang kung may idadagdag sila, ihahabol nila yon. So consistent yung pattern na okay, lumabas siya ng December, tapos refer ng mga abogado niya yung affidavit niya sa ombudsman, tapos ginamit na dun sa mga impeachment complaints. Kami naman, Tristan, when we first spoke to VP Sara about filing a complaint against Madriaga, it was late January. So at that time, hindi pa siya nasasama sa impeachment complaint, but VP Sara was already inclined to defend herself and file a perjury or a criminal complaint against Madriaga because of his false testimony. And then when we prepared the complaint, nakita nga namin, grabe, sobrang sinungaling ng taong to. Walang basehan yung mga sinasabi niya. So, in a way, parang natuwa kami na sinasama siya sa impeachment complaint kasi talaga yan yung gagamitin yung basehan laban kay VP Sara. That will only expose you. Expose this entire process as a political process that has nothing to do with evidence and accountability. So that's the background of this, Tristan.
Okay. And the issue of safety, again, alam ko nasagot nyo na po paulit-ulit, but as far as the VP camp is concerned, hindi po kayo involved to any threats to safety kay Madriaga. Lalo na binigyan na rin po ng house ata siya ng custody or at least protection pag magte-testify siya doon po.
Wala, we have nothing to do with those safety threats, and considering nga na we feel that he's the weakest link, diba? In a way, you could say that he's our star witness. Diba? So we don't want anything bad to happen to him. We want him to testify. We want him to trip on himself, on his lies, for the world to see. So wala, it doesn't make sense for us to want him to be hurt or to prevent him on testifying. In fact, I've already said na kung may mangyari kay Madriaga, it might be his handlers or the people behind him because sila yung merong pinoprotektahan dito kay Madriaga kasi we feel that if he testifies, he's going to reveal himself as a fraud, and eventually he might start pointing fingers kung sino ba yung nagtulak sa kanyang mag-testify. So if anyone has an interest in keeping him quiet, that would be the people behind him.
Sir, last na lang po. Who are his handlers as a tingin nyo and the people behind him?
We have no idea. We have our suspects. Of course, since this impeachment is driven by the vice president's political enemies, then any of them. Diba? I've commented before that based on the affidavit of Madriaga, considering may similarities dun sa matagal ng allegations ni Senator Trillanes sa Duterte family, like receiving money from the drug trade, pogo, magnetic lifters, ganyan. Bigla yung nasama dun sa testimony ni Madriaga eh. So parang masyado namang coincidental and incredible for a person to have personal knowledge on all of those allegations that were previously peddled by Senator Trillanes. So we feel that he's involved in this in some way, but as far as direct evidence, wala pa. This is just a fair commentary based on the affidavit of Madriaga.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions?
Hello po. Siguro kung wala naman pong ibang questions, confirm ko lang, sir, lahat po nung pinresent nyo today, tama po you mentioned na meron ng access dito yung house. So kumbaga, they already know this beforehand, before sa
Yeah.
mangyayari on Thursday.
Yes, that's correct. I've confirmed with Attorney Poa that they included our perjury complaint, the perjury complaint filed by VP Sara against Madriaga, including all of its annexes, as an attachment of the answer ad cautelam. So meron silang kopya nito, and in fact si Congressman Chel Jokno referred to it in I believe the first Justice Committee hearing in connection with his motion to give Madriaga additional security.
Okay po, sir. Thank you po. Yan lang po.
Any more questions from our media partners? I guess wala na, sir.
Mga kabayan, maraming salamat sa pag-share, like, and subscribe ng mga video upang lumaki pa ang ating community. Malaking tulong ito para makagawa pa tayo ng mas marami pang videos.